it's been raining and had to switch over to a different camera. And in one instance, I would say myself. So if I'm going out and I'm on holiday with
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I was just sitting here finishing my breakfast, and what's today? Today is Monday the 27th of January, and I'm done with my breakfast. I started my day off with a workout and, you know, the regular morning routine of getting the kids up and to school. And I came back, had a little breakfast, and here I am. So over the weekend, I did, well, not over the weekend. Last week, Thursday and Friday, I participated in some Patreon drawing sessions, which I will show you what I did. I'll show you what I did. Okay. I'm just going to hold the book up. I'm not going to bother going to my overhead camera. My overhead setup has been really giving me problems lately, so I don't want to mess with it too much. So our monkey Mintanka. Anyway, she's here on YouTube as well. I'll link everything in the description and everything that I mentioned. So, all right. So we were doing interiors. So I did these two pots. These were like warm-ups. I think they may have been like 3 minutes or 5 minutes or something like that. I started using soft pastels because last week I was I was on, you know how you just get on these different material kicks. So I was on a soft pastel kick, and you can see that from the previous page. Like I was swatching pastels. But anyway, getting back to the teapots. So I was trying to keep it basic. It was warm up, so it had to be quick. But the colored parts, I decided to use soft pastels. So that was that. The only thing, you know, everyone has the same complaint about soft pastels. While they're great medium, like blending and things like that, it's just so messy sometimes. So, but you have to account for that. I am an artist that likes to get her hands dirty, but also like I like to get my hands dirty, but then I'm like, ew, this is too much. So I'm kind of in the middle. Anyway, so yeah, we were doing interiors, and I just realized I was so rusty. I hadn't drawn interiors in a while, and when I first started drawing, that was like one of the things that I really enjoyed doing. Like that's what I looked for in illustration, were interiors, reference photos. So it was weird. Also, you know, April did pick very hard reference photos for this session. So anyway, so here's another. So that was that. And then here, this was actually 2 photos that I combined into one. And this was like a modern living room like setup. And then this other picture was like a cat, you know, in a shelf. What else? Okay, so we have more cats. So this cat, I made it kind of big. It was on a shelf, but I think it was cute. And then so this other photo was from a TV show. Was it The Office? It was The Office, I believe. So yeah, I did my best. I am not good at drawing people, but that is one of my 2025 goals, is to draw people more and kids. So you'll see that coming up. You'll see the debauchery of drawing people that goes on here. Okay, more interiors. All of these are unfinished, by the way, because they had a lot of detail and important details. So I didn't get a chance to fill in the frames. And the kitchen one, I didn't finish. I really wanted to finish the next day too. That was like my goal. And so I have the pictures, I can always go back. But they're definitely incomplete. So then that was Thursday. Friday, another Patreon that I participate in, Viola Art Studio. And she had a joint session with Natalia Velasquez. She has a Patreon as well. And I used to be a member of her Patreon, but I have to be honest, I Patreon hop. I hop. After a couple of months, I do Patreon hop. I can't afford to be a member of all these Patreons of artists that I like and support and love their art. So that's why I hop around. So it was Flora. We were painting flowers, plants, whatever you want to call it. So here's this first spread. This was about four reference photos in one spread. And yes, this one I did, as you can see, soft pastel. It's actually my favorite one, and it's the messiest and so abstract and unclear as to what you're looking at. I really, really like it. And I like this one too, the one above it. I really do like that one. I like them all. I tend to like my art. Is that weird? Because you see artists out here like, oh, I hate what I made. I hate it. It's so ugly. And why? Like, it's, I see other artists being so tough on themselves. And I get it. Sometimes there are times where I don't like what I made, and but I think I handle it differently. I just don't care. Like, I can turn the page and start over. Or you don't have to show anybody. Hey, how's that? Okay. Oh yeah, there was more. So these two were the last two. This one I don't like because I'm going to be honest, but I'm going to show it anyway. I didn't really capture what, like right now, you don't know what you're looking at, right? Because yeah, I didn't do such a great job, but that's fine. Like this one I like. These are like little bell flowers, and it was the photo was so pretty. And I kind of like this too as like a quick sketch. I like it. Yeah. So then the drawing sessions were over with, and I still felt like I still had I still wanted to draw more. I wasn't done. Even the session was over, I was not done. So I had taken 2 reference photos of my own of flowers that I had in my camera roll from last year spring or summer, and I'm gonna put up the reference photos. Like this is one from a reference photo of mine, and I know it looks like a mess, right? But I love it. I really do love it. And then this, I was trying to be super duper abstract and not include everything and because I can easily get bogged down with details. And then my mind is like, oh, you have to draw it like this. You have to. And I was like, I really love the way Viola paints. Like, if you go to her Patreon, you'll know what I'm talking about, or follow her on Instagram. I love the way that she paints because it is so abstract. But then when you look at her work, you know exactly what you're looking at. But for some reason, like, my mind makes sense of it immediately in all her abstractness. But it's so beautiful and it's so abstract. I don't know. You have to see. Go check out her Instagram. I'll link it below. So, yeah. So, the abstract floral thing got all out of my system Friday night. And then Saturday, did I make any art? Oh, yes, I did. I went about my day. But at night, you know, when you go through the day and then for me, this is what happens. I go through the day, I'm busy, I'm running around doing the things, hanging out with the kids, you know, doing things. And when the day ends, I'm like, did I draw today? Did I do anything? Like, did I draw today? And then I realized, no, I didn't draw. And then I didn't know what to draw. So one thing that I've been doing lately, because I have a Skillshare membership. I go to Skillshare a lot for things. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on Skillshare and see what classes I can come up with, because I had a lot of saved things. Let me go to my saved classes and see what kind of inspiration I can get from there. So Dylan M on Skillshare, she's an illustrator, and she had a live, was it a live demo encore? And it was from the fall. I don't even think it was from 2024, fall of 2024. I think it was from 2023, where she was, we were using Tombos. She's specifically using Tombos, and we did pumpkins and gourds. Now, I jumped at this because I have a shit ton of Tombos, and I sometimes get intimidated by them because I don't know really, because of the streakiness, and I don't know how to use them. Well, I felt like I wasn't using them properly, so I kind of shied away from them, even though I have a lot of brush pens. I buy them, and then when I get them, I'm like, oh. So for some reason, I feel like I'm not using them right. Well, turns out that's just all in my screwed up little mind. And I just fell in love with working with brush pens again. So anyway, I'll show you what I made. I think it's because I have too many. You know, when I bring them out, it's like a lot. So limited palette, limit your supplies. Okay, so this is what, this was the class, this was a project for the class basically. And I did it actually along with her. I didn't watch and then try to do it myself. I did it as she did it. I used mostly every Tombow that she used. I also had the same. That's how many I have. And so I really like this. This came out so nicely, and I'm so happy that I did it. And then, so I was in the mood, and then so I decided to create a chart of my favorite colors. These are the colors of my Tombow. I went through all of them, and these are the ones that I like. And this is not limited by any means, but at least it gives me a starting point to look at and be like, okay, I'm going to choose this color, and that color to do whatever I'm doing, to do my piece or work in my sketchbook or whatever. So this really helps me. And you know, I'm not a big swatch, I will swatch my art supplies when I get them, and I'll swatch them on camera for you guys. But after that, they're just buried in my sketchbooks. And I'm going to start keeping swatch charts for myself with my different art supplies, and, you know, swatching my favorite colors and the colors that I like to work with. And so this is not the first this is the Tombow chart, but I also did a Neo Color 2 chart. If I can find it, I will pull it out for you and show you, because that is one of my favorite art supplies to work with as well. Here we go. And oh yeah, I did this a while ago, and I kind of separated them by palettes. So here is my Neo Color 2 chart, and these are colors that I feel like are good palettes to work with. And, you know, these are my favorites. Moss green is my favorite green. That's why I put a star next to it. The ruby red, apricot, cobalt blue, aubergine is one of my favorite colors. So yeah, and I think that is something that I'm going to start doing with the art supplies that I tend to gravitate towards. I'm going to make charts for the colors that I like to use within that art supply, so that when I sit down, you know, I can reach for colors and not feel overwhelmed. That's the thing with me. I get color overwhelm. I can sketch out something and I can put everything in its place on the paper or in the sketchbook. But then when it comes to add color, when it comes time to add color, I get overwhelmed and I'm like, oh my God, what do I pick? What goes with what? I don't want it to look, you know, crazy. So that's what I'm going to do. I did that with the Neo Color 2s. You see that. And also this one as well. And I did a little sketch. This was done a while ago. I just never showed it. But I did this chart and I did a little sketch using the colors. And I definitely think that doing this type of thing will help me with my color overwhelm. A few more sketchbook sketches. This was from a reference photo. I think I may have got it from Katie Moody, or Unsplash. I don't remember. I'm not sure. But here's another. This one is definitely from Unsplash. That one. So anyway, here's the spread. Whoa. Here's the spread. And one more spread where, yeah, it was like in a kind of colorful still life type of mood. And these were done with Neo Color 2s. This whole thing is Neo Color 2. Actually, I forgot to tell you what I used for this. This is gouache, Neo Color 2, art graph, colored pencils, markers, you name it. This is mixed media. Anyway, guys, so that's all for the art that I made last week. I do have this painting behind me that I am currently working on that has been on my easel for a long time. Let me turn you guys around so I can show you. Okay, so this is a still life that's been on my easel. I started it in December sometime and I still haven't finished it. The lemons need to go here, and I wanted to add a lemon here as well in this space. I need to touch up the bowls. I just need to touch things up. Oh yeah, the utensils here I have to do. I'm not sure if I want to keep the background the way that it is or add some more texture to it in some way. But yeah, this is where it's at right now. I'm going to really try to complete this because I really like it. I don't know why I just don't sit down and do the damn thing. Yeah, so there you have it. So that is it for today's video. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope whatever I showed you here inspired you to go into your sketchbook, pull out your paints, your canvas, whatever the case may be, just create. I hope I inspired you to create. All right. So everything you need to know, everything that I mentioned will be in the description box. And thank you for joining me, and thank you for subscribing. If you have not, what are you waiting for? And I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.